Top of the morning to you, YouTube. It is your buttery voiced host, El Heftismo. And we are doing December-Ween today with my good buddy Sam, who I have known and lucky to have known for a couple of years now, several years now. I think we're going like five or six,
or maybe creeping up on 7, something like that.
Wow, where does the time go? But anyway, Sam is an amazing artist. Basically, all the Jason masks you see here. There's one on my wall over there that's a bit off frame. You can't see. He paints and does them all. He is a phenomenal, just not only individual and human being. He is a veritable cornucopia of knowledge on things horror. We dress in some particularly fantastic clothes because we both share a great passion. So thanks for everybody for joining us so far. T-Bone, what's up? Chantel, thank you. Chantel watching from South Africa. That's really cool. She is an absolute sweetheart. We love Chantel. She pops over on the paranormal stream on Tom and Amy's channel on Fridays. She's there every year, so thank you for that, Chantel. T is there also every week, so thank you, T, and everybody. And there is Tui. Tui is here, and he's okay, I suppose. Yeah, so you know Tui. But yeah, Sam. So basically, Sam, you and I usually get together, and we will do Blood and Beers or Blood and Booze. I don't think we ever came up with a formative title for that, but we usually will get together and have ourselves quite a few libations and kind of shoot the shit and watch stupid horror movies or fun horror movies.
A lot of stupid ones, though.
A lot of stupid ones. And we did not do that. Leonard, what is up, buddy? Thank you for watching very much, brother. Congratulations, by the way. And so we did not get to do that. We had October was a pretty busy month for me. And November, I think you put it best, just kind of got away from us. And December-Ween just seemed, yeah, we got to do this. So I thought, what a better way than having, this is kind of virtual, but this works better than nothing. So obviously, thank you for doing the show. And actually, Sam, what is one of the dumber movies do you think that we watched?
What was the zombie one with Mullet Man?
Oh, Zombie Bloodbath. Yes, that is. Yeah, the shot on video ones. Yeah, that whole trilogy. And what was the Splatter Farm? Splatter Farm. That was a dumb one.
The Wood Chipper Massacre, in which there is a wood chipper yet no massacre.
No massacre. A super misleading title. I forgot we watched that one
because it's so egregious.
Mm-hmm.
There's fibbing a little bit, and then there's just not delivering at all. And it's the latter.
100%. Chantel says, my worst was Zombievers. Okay.
I really like Zombievers, though.
And Tui was going to say Zombie Bloodbath. Yeah, Tui has seen those. Those are bad. Yeah, I kind of like Zombievers, too. And it's funny, Chantel, because if you think that is, if that's your worst, man, you would cringe. You would cringe at some of the shit.
Worst horror movie like that.
I like it. Because that's
not even on the bad horror movie iceberg.
No, it's a nice dream to have. that is the worst movie that I had ever seen. And it's funny.
The inciting incident is Bill Burr texting while driving.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Bill Burr is one of the guys driving the truck with the chemicals.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. I haven't seen that in years, literally since it came out. And I believe it set up zombies at the end, where it was like bees or something like that. Set something up like that where there was a cliffhanger.
I think so. And then there was one, I think it was called Stung. It's a more recent Killer Wasp movie.
Okay, there's not enough of those, I feel.
It weirdly few. Like, I can really only think of a handful of movies with horror, bees in them, and one of them's like the TV redo of, or no, it wasn't even a redo. Rose Red. I think there was a wasp nest in that, and then there was there's bees inside Candyman, but that's
true. And of course, Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man.
Not the bees.
That was better acted than his.
Cut. That wasn't even in the normal cut.
There you see, you people are learning stuff already. So yeah, if you guys couldn't tell already, this is me and Sam are just kind of shoot the shit about horror. Some of the work that he has done, Sam, in actually both video and on in just physical form, which is really cool. So yeah, everybody in the comments, feel free if you like horror, you know, some of your favorite movies. If you want to chime in on the conversation, please feel free. Real quick, Sam, I wanted to bring up. So we have a new Texas Chainsaw movie knocking on the door.
I was going to ask you about that because for as little as we've seen, color me intrigued. Because the last few, I don't think I saw the last one even. Like the one, I'm aware of pretty much the whole plot, but I don't know what happens really, other than it's like it's a prequel. It's like great.
Yeah. It's
I mean, unnecessary twist that kind of like, what do you mean that's the twist?
Yeah, that's kind of how I was left feeling after Leatherface, and not the good Leatherface, Texas 3, but the abysmal last chapter that we got out of the franchise, where it was like a whodunit till the end, and you're like, oh yeah, no, of course it was him, because
as weird and dumb as a lot of the Texas Chainsaw series has been, it was extremely consistent up until Texas Chainsaw 3D. And then it's been really rough since then.
Do your thing, cuz I just made everybody cringe.
That's like the Say Hello to Mommy in Hell from the Friday the 13th remake. That's like my favorite part of that movie. It's the only part I don't like.
Or what about the part that they showed in the trailer but not the movie? Freddy versus Jason. Place your bets. I'm like, oh, thank Christ, you did not put that in the movie.
Place. Yeah, and it was a line written by the very same dudes, but very nice dudes. Shannon and Swift on Twitter. I follow them. They're very receptive to questions and comments and stuff. There's also the "Welcome to My World" bitch at the end of Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that was not great.
Same shit.
Yeah, that was not great. Do you think "cuz" is the worst line in cinema history? It is definitely up there. I remember when I saw the movie for the first time and I heard that, I was like, oh no.
Ooh, I don't know how to put comments on screen. I have seen Spiral, and you know what? It's okay. If you're really into the Saw series, it manages to live in that world and do. It's kind of the same but different. You know, you'll like it if you like the Saw movies.
I have not seen it, so I have no opinion. Saw for me is I'm kind of like, man. My signal is terrible tonight because my country is dumb. Its government is dumb. Everything here is dumb, but I'm here. Bear with me. I'll try to keep up. No problem. Chantel, take your time. We will be here. Yeah. Okay. I'll never let go, Jack. That was a pretty bad one.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh my God. That should be the whole show. Is to just reenact the most cringiest lines from movies.
Or, I can't believe he killed himself. Why? Why did you kill yourself? I can't get you out of this one, buddy. That's what was that? Fateful Findings by Neil Breen.
Oh, boy.
Gone down the Breen rabbit hole. You can and you should, and you'll question your sanity by the end.
Lenny, my good buddy Leonard says, how about the Annabelle movie? I'm typically not a fan of those. I think I've seen a couple of them. Modern horror is tough for me. I don't like a lot of stuff that's out there. I'm just kind of snotty when it comes to that stuff. I'm old, man. I like the old shit. That's not to say that I don't like a lot of the stuff they're doing now. I just don't. Well, no, I'm saying I don't like a lot of stuff they're doing now. But they're trying.
Yeah, I don't mind the mainline Conjuring movies. I wasn't as big on the spin-off series with like Annabelle and stuff like that. I kind of like the Insidious movies a little bit. Like they're fun. They're not amazing or anything. They're not going to change the world, but
no. But I mean, they're fine. I don't mind. They're not terrible. They're not Splatter Farm. Kevin K from Hawaii. Thank you, sir, for tuning in. Ooh. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for all the love on Instagram as well. Leonard hasn't seen it yet. Okay, well, I mean, it's worth a watch, man. And that's the great thing about these art is subjective. So what I don't like doesn't necessarily mean that you won't like it. even though I'm getting hate. That's okay. Good newish stuff out there, which actually kind of brings me to one movie in particular I wanted to talk about before we get into your treasure hoard there, Sam. Is so Bruce Campbell, Black Friday.
Oh, that one's on the to-do list for me. I just finally got around to Freaky and had fun.
Oh, how did you watch it?
Day to you. So like that kind of fun sort of genre twist movie they're doing over there. I like those too. That's it's like there's a concerted effort to do different things, and then like I hear the guy who did the Lighthouse is doing a remake.
Yeah, he's doing a new thing. Yeah,
like
yep.
So
it's another one, but the funny thing is, it's another 2-word. The first word is the title.
The Witch, the
Lighthouse. So yeah, the Witch, the Lighthouse, and now it's like I forget what it was. I was reading about it the other day.
Robert Eggers presents The Something.
The Something, yes.
My tickets are already bought.
Oh yeah, Wormwood was really good. That was a really good movie. That was an Australian zombie movie. If you haven't seen that, Sam, I absolutely recommend that. But the thing with Black Friday is Tui and I were going to watch it, and it was on a streaming site, and it went through buffer hell. So I think we got 10 minutes in, and it was unwatchable. So gonna have to check that one out eventually. But I am excited about it, and yeah, I did enjoy Freaky. I thought I loved Vincent D'Onofrio and whomever the leading actress was, and that I was like that was very well done. It was fun.
Vince Vaughn, I thought.
What'd I say?
Vince D'Onofrio, which would also
Vincent D'Onofrio, yes, no, but he's a great actor too. But yeah, Vince Vaughn, too many Vinces, and by that I know two, and I screwed them up.
I watched Ed Wood again recently, and he plays Orson Welles in that movie for all of 5 seconds, and that's always fun. I love that movie.
What luck! I have a French fry in my beard. There's a remake. Chantel didn't know of Pet Sematary. There absolutely is. Jay, where's Jay? Jay from the UK. What's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate that. It's like about 8:15 where you guys are. But cheers, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, Tui says it looks good from what we caught. I agree.
Black Friday. Black Friday. I'm getting all turned around.
I talk quickly and I jump subjects.
Remake of something. I'm trying to catch up in the chat. Are we talking? Did Black Christmas come up? Because there was a remake.
There was Black Christmas. I don't think it came up.
And then there was a kind of a Never Hike Alone-esque fan film done by why can't I remember his name? Canadian voice actor.
Jay Baruchel?
No, it's God, it's gonna torment me now, but it's called Hello, It's Me, Billy, and like he put a lot of time and effort, professional production and stuff, and it's pretty slick. Like it's worth a look.
Okay.
I wish I could remember his name. He's got a whole channel where he talks about stuff. He's a really big Halloween fan, and he gets very excitable. Shit, the name will come to me eventually, but it's like
we'll plug him when you remember it. I feel like there are 4 iterations of Black Christmas, probably because there are. Or there's a couple of them. There's like 2 or 3, I think.
There's the original. Mm-hmm. There was a remake in 2006 or something like that, when that was the popular thing to do. They might have sequeled.
I think they sequeled it.
And then they 2018'd it or whatever year that came out.
God, leave well enough alone. Come on. I don't know. One more question. Boy, Sam, you go first on this one, buddy.
Okay, so I had an entire 2-year period where I was trying to spread the good word of Dead Alive, and it was convenient at the time because it was on Netflix for a good chunk, and it wasn't the super long, extra gory version, but it was like a version better than the original VHS release we got here. So, party's over.
I kick ass for the Lord. So mine goes back a little way. So I'm old. So I used to read Fangoria, and in one of the Fangorias, I actually might still have. I have some old Fangorias there, but was a review on Dead Alive. I had never heard of Peter Jackson. It turns out I had. I just didn't know it yet. From Bad Taste, ironically, but that's another story. But so I was living in Louisiana at the time with my father, when I heard this, and my brothers and my mother lived in Vermont. So there was one time when I was going up to visit, it had to have been around a holiday or something like that. And my mom took me out to go rent some movies. And I loved horror and stuff like that. So I was like looking around. I couldn't find anything. And she's like, she's like, oh, how about this one? She picks it off the shelf, and sure enough, it's Dead Alive. And I recognized the title. I somehow had missed it. And I was like, yes, absolutely. So we went back to our place, and my buddy at the time, Shane, was staying over, and we were eating frozen chicken cordon bleu, okay, watching the movie. As the dinner is ready and we start to eat, you know what scene is coming up? The pudding scene, isn't it? The pudding scene. Mm. So I'm sitting there, and to this day, I can't eat chicken cordon bleu the same way again. But that is that I have purchased so many copies of that movie, VHS. I had to have had at least 11 copies of that on VHS. That is absolutely 100% one of my favorite movies of all time, and led to my absolute adoration of Peter Jackson. Lenny, great question. And that is, I think, between me and Sam, we can say that is an absolute fucking fantastic movie. And there's official confirmation from Peter Jackson. That's right. Not Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson, the lesser known of the Jacksons. There's a 4K restoration Blu-ray with all sorts of stuff coming out within the next year or two. It got postponed because of something about some band from England nobody's fucking heard of, the Beatles, something like that. I don't know.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he did something, I guess, to try to make those guys famous after God knows who long. But
my recollection of that is just purely helter skelter.
Nice. Yes, good luck to you, Pete, on that one. We're rooting for you.
Yeah. I love that the beginning of the movie is set on Skull Island, so it's
shared
with whatever King Kong movie you want to choose, which is just amazing to me.
And the rat monkey is mentioned in King Kong, in Peter Jackson's King Kong, which is really funny. He's doing his own View Askew universe or Mew or MCU. Mew? Oh boy,
there's almost a word for it, isn't it? He's got
the Jackson verse.
I guess that feels lazy. I want
to. Yeah. So
what's the company he
Wingnut?
Wingnut verse would work, or the other one that he did, the special effects company, Weta.
Oh, Weta. Yeah. Yes, T. I agree wholeheartedly. I think it's going to be forever before it comes out, but I'm going to buy it because absolutely.
Now, if he does the same thing for Bad Taste. And maybe
they are. They're Bad Taste, and Meet the Feebles are on that list as well. Meet the Feebles, yeah. So it's a triple shot that's coming out. That was just the one I was most excited about. Bad Taste is great as well. Meet the Feebles is entertaining. Yes, thank you, Lenny, for stopping by, buddy. Love you, buddy. But yeah, so that's cool stuff. So switching gears a little bit here, Sam, I know we kind of mentioned earlier, and I know it's been ever since I've had them in the background of every one of my videos that I do, your wonderful work. You're a very talented individual. If you go on my Instagram, that's at l.heftismo. You can see some more of Sam's work on some of my pictures there. Let's before we get into too much of that, I had asked you to pick out some things that you had done that you are either particularly proud of or just really cool little things. And I wanted to share them with everybody out there because I know your talent. Tui knows your talent. I mean, anybody that's been here, like that has seen the mask and stuff or knows you, and you're a big guy. And you're a big guy. Sam is, you're what, like 6'3", 6'4", or something like that?
Somewhere in there. The ironic thing is I've been to the doctor's office a few times and been measured a few times. Still don't know what the hell's going on. So
that was for something else. But
yeah,
they didn't have a big enough tape measure.
It's relevant to my medical treatment, but they seem to check often, and I never remember what they say.
That's fair. But Sam is a very big guy, but he's a giant teddy bear. Sam, have you ever done a bust? That is a good question.
I have. I don't have it here with me. It's living in the basement of my parents' house, but I sculpted the Jackie Earl Haley Freddy Krueger, and painted that and had it in an art show once. It went from being prominently displayed to they stuffed it in a corner because it was making children cry.
That's awesome. That's great. I would, if you want to, yeah, if you ever snap a photo of that, I know you said you're going to be going up that way for the holidays or something. If you can snap a photo of that, I would, or I'll throw it up on Instagram or something like that. We can check there for that one. The Shunned House. Yes, unfortunately, I saw that. Oh my God. Yeah, that was terrible. Oh my goodness. Some whore's mouth. Okay. Fair enough. And so yes, let's get to some things, Sam, that you like, and I'll do one of these too. So we'll get to, hold on here. No, hold on, that's not gonna work. Come on, Hefty. Nope. Try again. There we go. So we can get a little bit better view on them.
So I guess we have a choice to make. We can either we can do where's the camera? There it is. We can either do masks or not masks first.
Okay.
With my fun Two-Face coin.
Okay.
I guess we're doing masks first.
Sweet.
So.
Pimp flip too, by the way. That was a sweet flex.
I've been working on it. It's like that time I learned how to shuffle cards at the gas station because you have nothing better to do.
That's what you have nothing better to do. Yes.
So we can start with one of my favorite things that I've not finished still. There we go. Part 7. It's not technically screen accurate because part of this cut is wrong. It's supposed to protrude here, and instead I dipped in because I wasn't paying attention while I was doing it. So now it's a little bit more of a custom piece.
There's nothing wrong with that either. It makes it a little bit more unique. And that's on a black one? Was that on a black
one? The people that spent way more time researching this stuff than I did pretty much deduced what every single mask was made out of. And so this one was on black plastic. So got to do it on black plastic. And, it's weird to see them without the stuff on them, and it's weird to see the inside. I think there's really only 2 times in the whole series where you see the backside of the mask. One of them is in part 6 when it's hanging off the shovel, and the other one is in maybe a split second in like part 4 when it's flying off his face.
Yep.
Past that, I don't think we get a whole lot of that. Maybe like a side angle in the remake. I don't know, but part 7, I like it.
That one I'm very familiar with. You've been bringing that over here. I'm pretty sure as long as you've been coming over.
It's one of the smaller things, so it's easy to tuck in a bag because it is cut smaller than some of the other ones.
Sam has great hair. Just saying. Yes, you do. Sam does. Sam has the best hair on my channel, actually.
And you know what? if it turns out that it doesn't stay like that, I'm going to stubbornly go into that darkness like John Carpenter's been doing with whatever the hell is still on top of my head.
Yeah,
that's that crazy, crazy man.
Yeah, he is. He just doesn't care. He doesn't fucking care. That's awesome. Part 8 Jason is my favorite. That is a great mask.
I have a really soft spot for Part 8 Jason, even though I think the under his mask look of his makeup is super lame because for some reason Part 8 was one of the ones I saw the most as a kid.
I think that's how it was here too. Because I think that is the first one that I was ever rented at my place.
Peak Kane Jason too, because it's before they're blowing him up and hiding him and turning him into robots and stuff. So you get the most nodder for your buck.
That's true. And he was coming right off the heels from 7.
Because Part 7, like, a lot of the mannerisms are there, but it's still like he's feeling it out. By 8, he had a formula, and it's like this is what he's doing. But
go
Jason, I got this little guy recently.
Oh, that's awesome! Is that a NECA?
Yeah. I love this line. I have all of them right now, except for like some of the Part 5 variants. What's the one I don't have? And I'm waiting for them to make like 8, 9, 10. I've got versus. I hope they do not Uber Jason X. That's one of my favorite looks. It's a little simple and understated, but I like this whole. I've got with me. I've also got Part 4, because
Attaboy.
gotta
Yes.
appreciate some Ted White.
3, Ted White. The 3 and 4 were my favorites. I have, what do I have? I have 6.
I think you have Part 6, which I also have.
Yes. See, mine's still in the box because I'm not ballsy enough to take them out.
I'm a play with my toys guy. Like
I
don't care
was.
if I can resell it or it has value. I like to make them look angry. I try to give them poses that they had in the movie. So CJ is standing here with his fists clenched, looking like Superman, all stoic, and I like that. And
Yes.
Ted is on the prowl. He's looking. He's looking for you. I don't know that he used the cleaver all that much, aside from ending poor Crispin Glover's stint of suffering.
Yes.
He didn't suffer that bad. He got laid and then he died. It wasn't that.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to go. I mean, that's how I want to go.
And then
and I have the
thing where he holds the machete straight out, almost like a kill boner.
I never thought of that. Yeah, kill. That makes sense. I mean, there's always been a lot of
because some of them hold it and it kind of dangles down, like, oh, it's a heavy thing, it's weighty, I'm holding it, and then at least
he's just like, nope.
But then his is like a directional thing. It's like because he does that thing where he turns his head first and then he follows, but then it's like the point on a compass. It's like something's going to die over here.
Yes, Crispin. Yes, he should have gotten an Oscar for his dance scene. I have also heard that is not the initial music he was dancing to. I also heard he was dancing to Back in Black by AC/DC.
Yeah.
Yes, I said kill boner.
Yes, I
we sure did.
Say the word kill boner.
Yeah, the other one I have is the 8-bit NES Jason one back there, which I will. Do you have that one too? I thought you were taking it out. I just saw you reaching for something. I'm like, oh, you got that one too? Dope.
Which one? Part 3?
No. The NES one, the purple and blue.
Oh no,
one.
I don't have that one. Not with me today, but I have them. Is Part 2, Part 3, remake and versus.
Nice.
I am going to get them all.
Right on. So what do we got next?
All right, so this is a little bit more standard. This is kind of close to just the normal Part 3. It's not exactly accurate. This is a little bit more. This is part of a different project I also haven't finished yet, where I'm just trying to do like a vintage street hockey set. So like things that look like you would buy them in a sporting goods store in like 1984.
Actually, the one on your left looks like the one Tackleberry wore in Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. Only his was red.
Thinking about it, he may very well have had that.
It was only his, I believe, was red. Tui, we can make that happen, buddy. I have the means and the machines. See if it fits any better. If you watch it and you play it in your head, it times up when it's like
the fact that he's dancing to no particular rhythm, seemingly in the movie as is, makes it more eccentric and kind of makes his weirdness more charming, which is totally why he scores.
And apparently how he actually danced in clubs. That was how he danced in the clubs. That was not a joke.
I don't think he was even the only one dancing like that. You see some other 80s movies with people in clubs, like there's probably
stroking out
in the background of the tech noir scene in Terminator, probably doing some shit like that,
No, absolutely. Let's see. So next up,
we can do a little bit.
This is great.
Pivot. Oh, wait, no. I guess I'm out of hockey masks. We can do a pivot to something that I really only worked on fairly recently for actual Halloween. This is the Trick or Treat Studios 1978, and I've worked on it a little bit since then. I changed the hairline a little bit, did some paint work, and now this is maybe my favorite Michael Myers mask I've ever owned.
That is great.
They run a little.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun. I spent Halloween night standing on the roof pretending to be statue until kids got close enough, and then I'd move when they looked.
You know what's funny is you sent me that picture. I should have had that ready to go so I could have shown that on the screen. I'm a terrible host.
But yeah, that was that's good. Now these, I don't know if this is the case across the board or if it's just been my luck, because I got one of the 2018 masks, and that one fits me like the first Michael Myers mask I ever bought, which was a 2005 Dawn Post, which also looks pretty good, but I wasn't as good at painting them back then. So that one, I still have it somewhere. It's not here, but I have it. I'm probably going to foam fill it and paint it up nice and preserve it for the rest of my days. But these ones all run kind of big on me, and either they're just big or maybe I have a tiny head. I'm not sure which one it is, but it sits nice.
Oh, there you go. See, that seems to go on rather well, and it fits you too. Yeah. See.
Yeah, I like that one.
And Trick or Treat they do fantastic work.
Oh, no,
is Mabry still with them, or is he kind of like
so.
off? Okay.
He was definitely still with them as of 2018 because I think he was on the crew that either did consultant work with the production of the new Halloween movie, or he was involved in taking their mold and mass producing that the mask from that movie.
Okay.
But I'm sure he's probably still over there because why
yeah, well, he's on Instagram. I do follow him. You see a lot of the stuff that he does, and I just never think to check to see if he's still with Trick or Treat. But regardless of whether he is or not, Trick or Treat they do phenomenal work. They have a lot of really talented
pick up their Halloween 3 set because they're the only people I think that make all 3 of them in like relatively the way you want it quality. I don't know if they have the silver shamrock tags on the back or not, but I hope so.
That would be amazing.
Oh, you're gonna make me blush, guy.
Let's see. Now, is there anything? Now, I know you've done Freddy Gloves as well,
and I do have one here today to show you. I didn't make this one, and it actually is in need of a repair because, as it turns out, brazing steel to copper is kind of a weird and finicky thing. So I actually got this one in a trade for a Jason X mask that I painted, and got the other knife over here. It had an unfortunate fall from the shelf, and so here we are today. But it's pretty clearly patterned more directly after.
What's that? 3?
It's kind of a weird mix. Like
I can't see the backplate very much.
Most of it's like part 1, but the way the backplate's folded is kind of more like 4.
Yeah,
it's
a
blend.
little hybrid.
Get accustomed, but like the palm is.
It's nice. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. That's good work.
Pin over here on the end. I had to put the drawstring in myself. I might just get a different glove for this at some point. But the other one that I did make, I tried to find it for today, and it's occurred to me that I had it in a tool bag, and I was going to try and see if I could weld the blade onto it when I was learning welding. And what I did was accidentally melted the finger stall. So I'm going to have to probably redo that. I'm not opposed to, because I'm meaning to do another one again.
Oh man, that was actually. If you go over to my Instagram, I believe I have pictures of that one because you brought it over that one night, and we put it down with the Necronomicon page.
Ooh.
And another Jason mask, and it was kind of. Oh no, we had the pages all spread out.
Speaking
and we put the mask on
Necronomicon.
Yes.
I'm not sure where that went. I don't know where it is. It's currently missing, which doesn't bode well for humanity. And I'm thinking I didn't say the thing right. It was like necktie or nicto or
it was necktie. It was.
I think I said the wrong thing.
It was no, you got it.
I can't find the Necronomicon. It's bad.
I got a page from it. The one you gave me. Oh no, that wasn't even. That was just some crazy cool artwork.
It was.
Unless it was from there. I mean, it's weathered.
I drew it right in the heart of doing a lot of those pages, so it's actually inspired by a page I have in there.
Right.
But yeah. If you want to see how losing or fooling around with the Necronomicon goes, the Ash vs. Evil Dead series that I am fond of gets into that pretty well.
Oh yeah, that was a great series. That was a really great series. I knew they have the new movie coming out. I know that Bruce Campbell has and still officially retired. Like he's no longer doing Ash, just like Robert Englund is no longer going to do Freddy Krueger.
There was a time, and I think they've both decided that you know what, they've paid their dues. They don't want to have crap glued on them anymore. In the case of Bruce Campbell, I'm sure not getting hit in the face by Sam Raimi with stuff is probably
because that never gets old for Sam. I'm sure that never gets old for Sam. He doesn't care. He loves making Bruce miserable.
Like he likes making actors he's comfortable with in general. He likes to make miserable. There's outtakes from Spider-Man 2 where he just beats Tobey Maguire in the face with a backpack.
Well, it's a sense of camaraderie. You know what I mean? Like, you bust your friends' balls harder than you do like normal people because they're your friends, and
it may also be a manifestation of the effect of the media he took in as a young lad. Because
the Three Stooges. Yeah,
Stooges.
He is literally like the missing Stooge, just lost in time. He's the lost in time Stooge, brother. Sam Stooge.
Shemp Raimi.
Shemp Raimi. That's right. Good. I love it. Yeah, you got other stuff?
Yeah, I got tons of stuff. I don't know
Cool.
where to start though.
Start.
We're not quite out of masks, I guess. This kind of actually tacks on nicely to me fucking up the Freddy glove. This is my welding helmet, and I painted it up to look a little bit like a robot head from Pacific Rim. So you've got a little bit of industrial to it. You get a little rust. The 13. I wonder why I put a 13.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
Multitudes of reasons. Maybe it was that obscure Danzig song, but
that was it. I'm sure that was it.
That's exactly what that was. All right, let's see here. Well, to keep it a little bit horror and maybe to backtrack to Michael Myers a little bit.
Okay.
In the year 2011 or 2012, on the Michael Myers net forums, there was a guy, I think he's still on there, JC70 was his username, and he makes the best
replica knives, right?
Knives, yeah. Now, I was a little bit of a cheap boy back then, and the ones from the classic movies were a little bit more expensive, so I opted for this one, which is the knife from Rob Zombie's Halloween, but I actually have the real kitchen knife, and I use it frequently.
Hi, Carrie. How are you, sweetheart? Thank you for tuning in. I hope your live went well. That is Carrie's watching from the UK as well. Her information is down below if you want to check her out. She is the world's best, in my opinion, psychic medium. A very talented lady. Yeah, I've seen that in real life, that knife. And that thing looks as badass in real life as you do until you pick it up and like feel how very light it is.
Yeah,
why is my phone?
Almost nothing.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
It picks up the light correctly because it's two thin sheets of aluminum on either side of a piece of, I think it's acrylic plastic, he said. But it reflects like metal because it essentially is metal, and that's why it kind of rules.
Now you have a machete too that's almost in the same vein, isn't it?
Yeah,
or was that the real one?
If the audience isn't going to be terribly annoyed, I think I have the axe and machete I made for my time at the haunted attractions downstairs. I didn't think to grab those because I forgot.
Well, why don't you go ahead? I'm sure I can fill.
I am sure our buttery voiced host can entertain everyone for a hot minute.
Man, he's getting paid for this one. I'm taking all my my sweet paranormal show money and paying Sam with it. So guys, again, I want to thank everybody so far for tuning in. It has been a lot of fun. We do have a patient audience. We have a wonderful audience. I love everybody that is here and has been a part of the show. This is actually the last show on the channel for the year. We all love butter, me too. So I kind of felt this was a real fun one to go out on. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, for the other show, I am lucky enough to co-host on Fridays at 3:00 Eastern Daylight Time in the United States, over on Tom and Amy Paranormal Mysteries channel. All that information is down below as well. Go check them out. And Carrie, obviously, as I said, she is a phenomenal lady. A lot of fun. Just about as filthy as I am when it comes to cursing and just mind in the gutter. I love her to death. She has an amazing husband, Dave, and just I've been lucky this year, brother. I've been super lucky to be a part of a lot of different cool things this year. And here we go. And here's Johnny.
Actually, I did that for Halloween one year. It didn't work because my hair was too long, and I wasn't going bald.
That's okay. You did fine.
But this is the axe. It's a real axe handle. The head is carved out of that foam that a lot of costume people are using right now to do suits of armor and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, the EVA foam, I think it's called.
No, that's neat because that catches the light pretty well as well.
Well, it's because there's metallic paint on it. Like I picked a chrome, and the issue with metallic paint is that if you try to clear coat it to protect it, it gets dull and gray and no longer is metallic. So then you just put your shading on it and hope for the best.
Wow.
Now, it's seen better days. Some of the paint's come off because haunted attraction life is tough and things get beat up. But I used this for, I think, an entire season. It was when the video game came out, and part 3, Jason was backing up the cultural memory. So I did that one specifically, and I'll use an axe. I'll be different and remind people that he's not just a machete killer.
He is not. He is not. And I wanted to give just real quick, Tom and Amy are there. It's Tom in bed, but thought I would jump in and say hi. Thank you, Tom. Love to Amy and the doggos and the guineas. Tom and Amy, as well as Carrie, are all watching from the United Kingdom. Thank you guys very much for that. Wonderful people.
Our guest people joining us today, they have channels with cool stuff on them, perhaps?
They do, actually. Carrie, you can find at Starseeds TV on YouTube as well. Tom and Amy, all the links are in the description for stuff below. Sam's is actually, why isn't my ticker going? Oh, there we go. I knew something's been missing for the past 40 minutes.
I'm a blockhead, but
but no, that's fine. I didn't even notice. I'm like, oh, wait a second. But yeah, wonderful people. They love the axe. And you have the machete there as well.
This is the machete. Now,
I love that thing.
It's cool. This is made out of acrylic plastic. I did a similar thing to JC70's knife there, where this aluminum tape to get that metallic look. Now, I gotta say, this blood paint is awesome. I got that from JDF Studios, I think it was, and it's great. It looks wet. It dries hard. It doesn't peel off very easily.
My ticker stopped calling ambulance. Oh God. That's okay. The JDF Studios is fantastic. Now that's where you get a lot of your blanks.
I get the vast majority of my blanks from him. The only ones I've gotten elsewhere was one that he used to have, I think, sold off to Crazy Dog 500, and that was his Part 8 mold, which is cast from the outside of a screen used 8, which is cool. But yeah, the thing about this though is, in broad daylight, it's not terribly convincing because it's this big chunky thing, and you can kind of tell the grips I made out of foam and tape and whatever, because that was just a comfort thing. But it needs to read in the dark, which is a problem that I came across working the hayrides. I had this dark, grimy mask I was wearing for a few years, and people were like, what is that? I was like, oh shit, I have to have basically a clean mask in the dark for it to read
properly. Yeah.
And then for you to be holding a blade that people are going to see, if you're not holding it broadside, a real machete is like a 1/16 of an inch thick. And in the dark, invisible.
Yeah, unless it's from the side, you know what I mean? But yeah, if it's straight on, you're not.
More room to pick up the light, like you get the edge there. So it play like your brain reads it, but it's not. It looks great in the dark, and that is the point. Like it was the special effects guy Ken Turallo said, pretty much every movie prop you've ever seen looks good on screen. Looks terrible in real life, but when you're making props, if you squint at it, that's kind of what the lens sees, and then it all makes sense. It's somewhere in there. There's a degree of like, it can't see it. It's fine.
That's actually kind of interesting. I hadn't heard that.
That was probably more back in the film days, though. Now that there's like HD
R.I.P. Ken,
photography, I bet the philosophy is totally different. But like related to something we'll get to eventually, I looked at a lot of pictures of part of the endoskeleton from Terminator 1, and like you'd see it on screen. It's this impressive like metal skeleton climbing out of the fire, coming to kill our heroes, and it looks like it's assembled from garbage in real life. Like some of the welds on that are shit. Like I've done
just
better
ugly
experience. It's very ugly. And it's like they made better ones for Terminator 2, but in the first movie it was a cheap, fast kind of thing, and it totally reads on camera because you lose something to the grain, which also kind of brings it alive. Like I was having a conversation on Twitter the other day with I'm not sure who it was. It might have been someone who writes for Fangoria or something, but they were talking about how 16 millimeter film is underrated, and it's like, well, yeah, it's super grainy. There's something to it that brings like kind of a stark reality,
realism, yeah,
but also that magic of cinema where it's like, oh, it's got a little fuzz to it. It just feels like a movie. Like one of my favorite movies that came out in the last it's probably like 15 years at this point. It was Public Enemies with Johnny Depp. It was about John Dillinger.
Did not see that one.
It was directed by Michael Mann, the guy who did Heat.
Okay.
And it's really cool, but it looks like shit because it was shot on early digital. So it's got that weird kind of like parts of it look cheap, like a BBC like soap opera or something like that. It's really unfortunate, but
no offense, England.
they know.
They know.
But yeah, that's the machete and props reading on screen.
You now I wanted to bring up something that you have that I am hoping you will to me. Or I'm just gonna break into your house and steal, and that is the Jason silicone hood.
Oh yeah,
silicone. You know what? I don't care. That thing is so dope.
I don't.
Oh, but it needs repairs though, right?
Yes, it might have just been the one that I got. It's got some issues, but yeah, that thing's awesome. That was probably the best $500 I've ever spent because my first year as Jason at the haunted attraction, I was using the hood that you now have.
Yep, which is the one that if I go back to one of these real quick, you can see right back here the remake hood that is on right there.
That was
my cool little Jason
one by Eric Lubati. I did not get one signed by Richard Brooker, and now in hindsight, like, it really doesn't matter because I was going to use it, so his signature probably would have faded anyway, but I kind of regret not doing that because that would have been cool because in a weird way I was working indirectly with the guy at the time. But
that's very true.
And he was pretty laid back. Like we had him do like a Q&A one time that was pretty fun, and he just nice guy. True.
And he was. I was going to say he was British as well. Yeah, he was very. In every interview I've ever seen him in, he was, and he was another big guy. He was an acrobat, I believe.
Yeah, he was an acrobat. I think he was like 6'2" or 6'3". If you want to see what his physique was like, watch the movie Deathstalker. He's in that. But then on top of that, they also had him wear that padded shirt. So he was
he was super beefy. Yeah. But in everything I've seen him in, he's just the sweetest, nicest guy. And there's the one shot that I always love of the unmasked Jason smoking a pipe.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Which it's just like
smoking a pipe.
Yeah, reading the paper and smoking a pipe. I was like, that's great. Best hit the sack. I'll have a great Christmas. Merry Christmas, Tom. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, yeah, brother, give her a love to Amy, and the rest of the family. Carrie as well. I know it's super late over there. It's almost 9:00. So thank you guys. Love you all.
Pond problems.
I know.
Unrelated issues.
Oh man. So after the silicone one, I'm just gonna go with silicone. What have you got up next, sir?
All right. Well, we were doing weapons, so we can stay on that track. This isn't as special. It has no lineage to anything other than just being the correct one. This is the Buck 120 hunting knife. It is most notably used in the Scream series as the knife that the Ghostface killer always seems to use, with very few exceptions. I got to rewatch those. I don't know that many people outside of maybe Rose McGowan being killed with the garage door was done in with anything other than this knife, really. I guess guns, too. A lot of gloves.
Still a great knife, though.
Yeah, it's a good knife. I use it for a lot of stuff. In fact, I actually used it to cook a dinner on a camp out with it once. I cut up all the ingredients with it.
Oh, that's all. Well, that's, what it's for. But, well, yeah, no, that's what it's for. Just cutting up food. What else would people use knives for?
I don't know what knives are for.
I don't either. They peel fruit.
I just like them. Now,
yeah, some people have guns. I like knives. That's that's funny. That's kind of how I've always been. Like, I know a lot of people that just like love guns, but I've always been like a blade
both,
guy.
But I definitely like me a good knife, and the fact that I don't have to do a lot of paperwork to get a knife means I have a lot more knives than guns. But that's
very true. That's very true. And I can also see somebody. No offense, but no, maybe a little bit of offense, just to bust your balls. There was a wink there. I don't know if you caught it. If you walked in and asked me to buy a gun, I'd be like, no.
Yeah,
you're scary.
they demand a level of respect, and if
Yes,
that
yes.
concerns anyone, then it's like I have nothing against anyone saying they're not for them. It's kind of like, I don't think zipping around downtown Tokyo in a Corvette with Hello Kitty on the hood is for me, but someone might like doing that. I don't know.
I was doing that this weekend.
Ah, damn. I was
That's
hoping
why
not to step on you there.
Yeah, no, my bad. you knew. You were the only one watching that video. So what else we got, buddy?
This is a departure from horror, but it is still in knives. And it's funny because you mentioned this, I think, before we started the stream, that you hadn't seen any of the Rambo movies, but this is Rambo's knife from Rambo 3. And that is that is a big honking motherfucker right there.
You got to send me a picture of that, because I'm going to show that to Eric tomorrow, and I'm going to be like, yeah, Sam's got that. I'll just be like, look, just send me a picture of that, please.
Yeah, I'll totally hook you up with that.
Yeah, actually, thank you.
This is one of the big knives I've had the longest. Actually, I got this. Holy shit! Like, it's got to be well over 17 years at this point. Like, it was like a long time. I don't know. I can't do the math, but I've had this knife for a very, very long time. And that
is a very nice. That's not a knife. That was a knife.
That might even be bigger than the knife that Paul Hogan pulled in that movie to say, no, that's a knife. Like,
yeah, that's very true. Yeah, this is a knife. He holds that
now to run back into horror, but to stay on the topic of oversized Bowie knives. I don't know if anyone watching the show is a fan of Supernatural at all. A show that most people agree was best until about season 4.
I watched a little bit of the first season. I liked it, but I have this thing where I just stop. I'll watch a little bit of it and just stop and move on. And you can ask anybody that knows me. I am super guilty of that on just about everything from video games to movies to television shows to cartoons to you name it. I have a tough time following through on it.
You don't have the energy to throw at the whole thing, like that's.
Yeah, how am I supposed to just sit there and watch stuff? I don't have the energy for that.
I can totally do that, but a lot of times I like things that are smaller, less committal pieces. Like I'll sooner watch like a little 80-minute.
I'm committed to non-committal
movie, but you tell me I've got to watch 13 seasons of something. Generally, I'm not going to do that, with one glaring exception, which was Supernatural, which I decided I was going to watch all of, and did. And mixed results. Your mileage will vary. But for people familiar with the show, at one point you meet Cain of Cain and Abel, and he's played by Timothy Odmanson, who was... detective something on Psych. I can't remember what his character name was off the top of my head for some reason, but he gets into a knife fight with Dean Winchester, and this is the knife that he uses.
That's awesome.
That cool double.
I love that. Yeah, the double flow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you bleeding on that one?
Yeah. So naturally, I had to have it. This one was actually a gift from the lady friend. She tracked it down, but I was like, "Oh, I want this," and she's like, "Oh, you want this?"
She was like, "Okay."
So
that's
we go.
Awesome.
I've got Cain's knife. It's cool.
Detective Lassiter.
Yeah, that's the one.
From Psych. Yes. Well played, Ed. There you go. There we go.
I don't know why that was so hard.
That's why. Well, I see Ed's here to pick up the slack.
My brain was going to Detective Stabler, but I know we're not talking about
Stabler. No, we're not talking about Law and Order.
Speaking of him, though, with Jesus, I can't think of the actor's name. Chris Maloney. There we go.
Oh God, yeah.
Now. I rewatched all of Psych recently too, because I was watching that when it was coming out. Huge fan of that. I love it. I don't know why Lassie dropped out of my brain. There's another made-for-TV movie coming out for that soon, I think. He's doing well, Timothy Odmanson. He had like a really bad stroke a couple years back, and he's nearly all the way back to normal, but he's got like some charities and outreach programs about stroke survivor stuff. It's I've seen a few strokes in recent years and loved ones and stuff, so it's a tough thing. If someone was inclined to throw their weight behind something, that's a worthy cause. But great show. I was Chris Maloney. We're gonna swing back into that because
Yes.
I watched that show Happy.
Oh, it was a great show. Great show.
That was awesome.
They fucking canceled that. I was so mad.
Oh, it's, you know what? In some ways, it's fine. It's fine they did that. It didn't have a chance to get bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, sadly, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. I would have loved to see more, but then again, I think you're right. The more seasons you go on, and we kind of dipped into this earlier, as far as like sequels or what have you, or it's kind of in a related conversation where like the further you go, like the more you get the. Oh no, it was Tui and I that were talking about that. Sorry, Tui. I almost gave Sam the credit on that one. Is that the more chances to suck you get, you know, with each, and it's like, okay, and then, you know, eventually they will jump the shark and you'll be like, okay, I'm done.
We had a similar conversation to that earlier. It was about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies and how those
okay. So it was okay, look, I smoke a lot of weed.
Things sucking eventually was on your brain for a reason. You've talked about it at least twice.
I know, it's ridiculous. Yeah, well, that's just because things suck. Once you get enough of it, it's like, okay, that's enough.
Speaking of shows I hope never wind up sucking, the Chucky TV series was pretty good.
Which one? I'm sorry, you kind of froze up on that one. What one?
The Child's Play one, Chucky.
Oh, Chucky. Yeah, not the biggest Chucky fan, man.
Well, if you're a big Chucky fan, this is the best Chucky's looked since probably Bride of Chucky. It's probably they've been on kind of a bounce back, though, because Seed was so bad. But then Curse and Cult were cool, and this show picks up from there. It's quietly becoming a pretty consistent, long-running, total continuity series.
I mean, they have enough episodes out, so I mean, there is an audience for it. So
they just wrapped season 1. Season 2 is confirmed. Like, everyone's back. Brad Dourif, from the more recent movies, Brad Dourif's daughter Fiona is in it. Or
Fiona. Who cares?
Whatever, you know, my brain. Whatever. Got some.
I'm sure she's watching and is super mad.
What's that?
I said I'm sure she is watching and is super mad. Her name up. Yeah. Sorry, Fiona.
If you saw her in, can't remember the Dirk Gently's holistic.
Yes. Well, which one? The Benedict Cumberbatch one or the Elijah Wood one?
The Elijah Wood one.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a maniac in that, so I believe she'd probably take the head off my shoulders, or at least allow it to happen, I guess, by the lore of that show. I don't know.
That's fair.
Can't dive down that rabbit hole too deep. We'll be talking about it all day.
Yes, you're checking a lot of boxes for people here with this.
Yeah, we're gonna hit all the corners of nerdy shit today, I assure you.
Oh boy! So what else we got? What do we got now?
Right, so we're still talking about Blades, and this one is a little bit less horror, sci-fi, pop culture kind of thingy, and a little bit more Oscar-winning historical drama kind of situation. This is William Wallace's sword from Braveheart.
Oh, I'm waiting for the comments right now. Hold on. That is fantastic. Look at that. That's got to be pretty heavy, yeah?
Yeah, it's I forget the exact weight. It's got some chunk to it, you know. It's a Scottish claymore sword. The thing is a clean, like nearly 5 feet long, I think.
Jesus, that is fantastic.
I've only played with it a little bit, but you know, there's something special about slicing things in half with a real big sword.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Freedom.
There we are. Yep. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Where did you pick that one up from?
Now that there's a sword maker in what do they call those? A forge, foundry, something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. They make swords. It's a company in Canada called Dark Sword Armory. Now they're another one of those companies that's gone through some rough patches, and there's a little bit of a sketch on their reputation, but they've made a lot of efforts to bounce back from that, because back in the day, in like the early 90s, they were making these great beater swords that you could more or less bash up a car with, and they'd stand up to anything. And then there was a period where I guess some of their employees were turning in subpar work, and they've been trying to shake it ever since. And I've got a soft spot for companies that mean well but find themselves in a bad situation. So I gave them.
It happens, especially if you're like a smaller company, like 100%. I mean, you're bound to hit a rough spot, and it's tough to bounce back from. I'm sure, especially with social media as it is.
Oh yeah, that's one
these days. It's like a couple bad reviews, man. That's enough.
Like you can. I think they're on Twitter and YouTube and stuff, and the comment sections are full of people that are still ragging on them for shit that happened in like 2006. So it's like that's rough. But
that's the internet. They'll hold a grudge.
But it's good sword. I like it. It's well made. And because I liked it, I purchased the next piece we're about to see, which will check an entirely different box. This is Aragorn's sword from Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say, I know that one.
I'm sure that they will remember.
That's got the scripture. Does that have the scripture in on the?
It does.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So I kind of just dotted my underpants a little bit there. That is beautiful.
Now this one's heavier than the other one because this huge.
Because the pommel is all steel. Yeah.
This one I don't use as much. I like to keep it shiny because, unfortunately, it was not actually made by elves, so it's not magical. But it brings me joy.
It could be, though, couldn't it?
It could be. I'll look into some blood rituals and make it an actually magical sword. It'll piss off the voodoo gods or something, though.
That's true. I got connections. Let me see what I can do. I'm excited to see what the hell else you got, to be quite honest with you. And it's funny, one of the things I think I should also mention is every time Sam comes over, ever since I've known the guy, he has like a little messenger bag. And all I can think of is Shelly from Friday the 13th Part 3 when he carries it out and he's like, this is all I got. And she's like, that's what you got. He's like, my whole world's there. What do you got in there? My whole world's in there. It's a little makeup box. But it's like he's carrying all the important stuff in here. So anyway, Sam will come over and he'll be like, I bought some cool things to look at. And he'll typically have like either his laptop, because he is also a very accomplished musician. If you go back and you listen to, I have a lot of on my Halloween videos on the podcast and some of the ones that are older videos on my channel. Sam did the music for him. Very, very talented synth artist. Does a lot of things in the vein of John Carpenter. So thank you, Sam, for those. I still have that music, so I should still use it.
Write you a new one for 2021, but my laptop keyboard setup has been under the weather. So
no, that's fine. Rick, what's up, buddy? A gentleman from the UK. Go check out his channel, Old AF Reviewers, on YouTube. Phenomenal guy. Rick is an awesome guy. Loves horror as well, Sam. So this actually should be right up.
If he's joining us from the UK,
he is. But fantastic guy. But so you would bring over, and it could be anything from a weapon, typically a mask. The Part 7 was usually in there. Never been called a gentleman. Well, that's okay, buddy. It's okay.
I mean, we can call you a scoundrel if you prefer.
Yeah, a rapscallion if you'd like, a ne'er-do-well. But I like Rick. Rick is a really nice guy. But yeah, so it was funny. So Sam would just bring over all things like, and again, just pieces that he was working on, pieces he had worked on, just cool stuff. So it was always cool when you would come over, because it would be kind of like a show and tell with like, ooh, what Sam got in his magic sack today. That sounded terrible, but so that was always a lot of fun. So on that, I can't wait to see what you got next for everybody. Twat isn't there. Well, everybody calls Rick a twat. Okay, well you're okay here, buddy. You're in a safe spot.
I guess it's better than being called knob end.
I guess a knob end. Do they do that over there?
My understanding is that's kind of more of an over there expression.
Rick, fill us in, brother. Is that a thing, brother? Knob end? Did people say that?
Bell end maybe also applies.
Bell end. We'll find out. Yes. So that is large.
This, to backtrack to historical dramas directed by Mel Gibson, is a musket. I know you're not super into guns, but...
no, but my father would probably be creaming his pants right now.
This hardly counts.
Knob head, bell end. All right, we have confirmation.
Okay, I mixed it up a little bit.
All right.
But,
Thank you, Rick, for clarification, brother.
This is hard to get all the way in frame because
that's what
I don't understand how people at the time wielded these, it's taller than most of the people that would have been carrying them.
That is 100% true, especially since most of the people that would have been carrying them were like teenagers.
Yeah. But this is patterned after one of the first Brown Bess muskets, so it's very likely that it would have been one of the ones in surplus at Lexington and Concord in 1775, 1776 when the war broke out. So,
is it functioning?
It is adjacent to functioning. I basically just have to drill a hole in the right place, but I plan to do that for the 4th of July this year because I think
that video coming up. We will see. Wait, you guys got a little bit of a wait. We'll see how this goes. Now, how about that one? Where'd you acquire that from?
Oh God, this was more recent than the swords, and I can't even remember the name of the company. It was like historical something. I'm not sure, but they're
historicalbigassguns.com. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, some. Maybe I can get it to spark for the audience at home, so there's something entertaining.
There we go. Hey, all right.
But there's that. Boy.
Everybody in the audience now owes us $1 for seeing that.
Usually you got.
Oh, people are dropping out. Okay, nobody wants to pay to see that. All right, that's fair. That's fair. That's fine.
Now this we're gonna make quite the downgrade in size and impressiveness, but
that's what I tell women.
Yeah. Recently I was poking through some stuff in a drawer at my parents' house, and I found an old air gun that I had that was broken. I fixed it up, and some of you might recognize it if you've been watching a very long-running series of movies. That's the Walther PPK that
from Resident Evil,
famously wielded by James Bond.
That's what I said, James Bond. Duh, obviously, because I've totally seen all those movies too.
All of them. There's like
there's
like almost 30 of those now.
Oh yeah. Watch them all. Every single one.
I heard the last one sucked, but whatever.
I'm also a big fat liar. I have obviously not seen any of them.
They're fun. Some of them are hilariously dated because they're made in like 1962. So it's like, oh, there's some stuff going on.
Hey, smack her in the pussy. It's like, wait, whoa, hey.
You're not far off.
I know. Needs to see the newest one still. Well, Sam just gave his review, a scathing review. So you're welcome, Ed. Save you a couple bucks there.
Well, I actually reported hearsay. I said I heard it sucked.
Nope, scathing review.
Scathing review.
Scathing review stands by me.
Z-list YouTube horror musician pans multi-million-dollar production.
Yeah, I would watch that movie.
That is the headline.
I would subscribe to that newsletter.
Let's see. As far as show and tell goes, we're getting a little bit close to the end here. I think there's something a little beyond my reach. Let me see if I've got anything over here.
Good, he's gone. What a wiener, right, guys? Good thing he'll never hear me saying that. Oh, damn it. I think he heard me.
What's that?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
You're doing nothing but slobbing my knob.
No, that's pretty much all I said was.
So for a total, actually, you know what? No, I don't need to use this one. I've got a better one. I'll be back.
Fair enough. Was he going to leave the room? Was he going to...
You can talk.
Yeah, no, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. Okay, is he gone? All right, guys, listen, I think we're going to have to kill Sam and take all his cool shit. I wish there was a different way. I just don't see any other way around this. Sorry / not sorry. I mean, he's great. He's got the Michael Myers jumpsuit hanging right on the back of his door there. I'm going to have to ask him about that one. Maybe he actually is Michael Myers and nobody knows. He's obviously got a fire in his room. Dibs on the Freddy Gloves. No problem, Tui. Got that covered. I call his Jason mask, and oh shit, I think he's coming out. Hey, okay. Shh. Hey.
This isn't a whole lot to look at because I haven't cracked open any glow sticks, but I picked this up to do a quick and dirty.
Oh, yes, a reagent.
Yeah, so this is my cool all glass syringe of the old style, so I could do Herbert West, and normally that would be glowing green with some stuff. Yes.
Where is it? It's on my boob here.
I almost wore that shirt today, but
That would, you know, what's funny is when you signed to the green room, I only saw like a little bit, and it was funny because you kind of, from what I recall, you like snickered or laughed or something. I was like, dude, did we both wear the same shirt? Because I'm totally not going to change. I'm going to leave that on, and we can totally just rock the same shirt. It was an unplanned event, but that didn't end up happening. Although you are rocking another Fright Rags.
Yeah, you have to. A,
yes,
because the stuff rules, and B, because Ben's a real nice guy.
He is an amazing guy, and that's pretty much all the shirts I own are Fright Rags. I have a few that aren't Fright Rags, but
I had to start buying plain black shirts so I didn't ruin my good shirts at work. Because my new line of work means that, I'll accidentally burn a hole in McCready's face, and I can't have that.
No, absolutely not. Okay, so what else have we got here? So you got the glass. Where did you acquire that from anyway? The glass syringe? Is that actually glass?
Online. I had literally a medical supply distributor from like.
Was it Unita?
That would have been awesome.
That would have been fantastic. Little Return of the Living Dead humor there.
The thing itself, I think, was made in India, but it was a company in like Sweden, I think, was selling the thing. So it was a little complicated. I let Elon and PayPal figure out the exchange rate, but
nice, yeah. He's fine. He's a smart guy.
Yeah, he's doing all right. I think we are well and truly hitting the end of the pile of stuff I've got, unless I really want to pad the runtime and stretch this a little bit further, because horror-related things are things that are on my body on a regular basis.
That's very true. Let's see what you got.
People might recognize this style of boot from pretty much every Army movie they've ever seen, because
or T, because you were in the Army, so you might recognize that.
Yeah, that's totally why I have the Army boots.
No. Jeff was in the Army.
Oh, Jeff was
in the comments. Cool. Yeah, so he would probably.
But yeah, so this is the Panama Soul GI Jungle boot, and this exact style of boot was notably worn by Michael Myers in the first Halloween, which is one of the tiny details they did not get correct in the 78 recaps in Halloween Kills, despite getting a lot of other stuff right. Jason in 2009 wore these boots. And then pretty much everyone in every Vietnam movie you've ever seen was wearing these boots. I bought them after seeing the remake, because I had other surplus boots, but I liked these ones a lot more. The green top canvas, as Jeff mentioned, are also available. The green top ones are the ones that Michael Myers had in Halloween. Yeah, and they also have these little vent hole things on the side, which I think the wisdom there is to let the water out, but really it just lets the water in. But it's a give and take.
Yeah, I think it works both ways. It goes both ways. Yeah, that's quite the impressive collection, Sam. And I know you have there's a lot of other stuff. I mean, there's masks all over the place. There's I feel really bad that you didn't have any of the Necronomicon pages, because those are just absolutely I wanted to have those
on hand, but they are
stunning. Well, we'll hopefully you can somehow, some way, somehow, somewhere find those, and we'll be able to do that in another show. Is there anything you are working on? That is a ton of cool shit.
I have one more cool shit. If it's not
okay, yes, no, not us all, not us all.
This is the most recent thing I've finished all the way, and you've seen it before.
I have seen this in real life. This thing, hold on, let me make this a little bit bigger for this. This thing is badass. It weighs a ton.
This is pure stainless steel.
Yeah,
and we've got Skynet by the balls now, don't we?
Yep, and it was funny because the way Sam unveiled this to me is he came into my work one day with his bag of treats, and so I give him a hug because I'm a hugger, and Sam gives good hugs. I don't give a fuck. So and he's like, "Yo, I got something I want to show you," and I'm like, "Cool." And he goes into his bag, and I'm like, "Cool." He's got another mask, and he pulls that out, and I'm like, "Ha." Yeah. So Sam made that. That is absolutely unbelievable.
This was the most fast-paced, stressful 8 days of my life that I've ever done, because it was a race to the finish line, because it was kind of a challenge of sorts. But, stainless steel, all TIG welded. I used like 4 tools that were insufficient to do this level of work, but this is one of the things I like most and I'm most proud of because it is maybe the most challenging piece.
It's beautiful. Yeah, and it's funny because the joints and everything are unbelievable. And the thing is so heavy. Yeah, it's articulate, so you can move it.
Like some of the most involved stuff I had done was like the part 3 I did for you and the part 3 I did for the Cinemasochist. I did a part 4 back in the Fright Stuff days that I don't remember if I sold it or not, but those were like the hardest I worked in terms of replicating things up to this point where it was like, you know, steel fabrication. I learned a trade to make this.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that for you, that's just another skill set in your belt. Again, because along with the illusion, like, so the painting, the attention to detail that you have, but not only that, but as far as like quick sketching goes, you have work on my garage wall outside. And I remember the day when you came into the Clifton Park store and I was doing something. And in the time that I was doing something and came back to you, you had taken a guest check pad and drawn a sketch of Jason and me on it, and which I still have somewhere to this day.
It was on your desk the last time I saw it, or maybe on the wall behind the desk.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I still have that. But you're just a very talented guy overall, and I think that like with you know the welding and the metal work, that's just again something that you can incorporate into your art.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, but so like creative wise, that's a phenomenal thing. But like functionality and like economic wise, like you fucking make money on that shit. Yeah. Like again, not only in the entertainment industry, but as doing metalwork and being a welder, like that's a skill and an
in-demand, lucrative trade that a lot of people. I had this impression as a kid because and in younger years, all those TV shows where like they go into a junkyard and they're like, we're going to make a giant robot out of a backhoe and some other stuff, or the custom bike shows and things like that. It's like, oh, these guys are welders. They can weld. I wonder where welders come from. It turns out it's a real skill that anyone can go to school for. And it hadn't occurred to me until like within the last 2 years. But but the sketching, like you were saying, that's almost like a parlor trick at this point. Like I could grab a pen and do something really quick to wrap up. If that's what you're trying to do, it feels like you're trying to wrap up.
No, not at all. But since you brought it up, that's a great idea. Go ahead. We'll wait.
Okay, so I'll just grab a pen and it's like,
ooh, this is fun. I didn't even think of that, but shit, you brought it up. That's a really cool idea. So on the fly sketch from Sam. And again, this is something he's literally just going to do on camera real quick. This is nothing that he's going to sit down and work on and take time for. And it does take time. My part 3 mask took a while to get here. And I am not a patient person. And God bless Sam because he put up with my, so how's it going? You got any update pics?
And you might be the only one that still has all those in progress pics because I think
I do. I absolutely do. I have every single one of them saved. Yep. So let's see.
Serial murderer tea party. I have enough costumes to do it. I don't have it with me, but I have a Leatherface somewhere. So this is a blank piece of paper, and I assure you that on all sides it is blank. I have nothing up my sleeve.
Is it folded?
It is folded, and I don't intend to unfold it, so we're just on the side that I have. I'm just gonna go get the essence of the thing.
We are watching a man work.
Which, incidentally, if this is something that the viewers enjoy, they may have occasion to watch again, as we have something perhaps in the works for a later date.
We always have some in the works. You are always welcome here. Your family's family. So.
Well, I meant specifically that you liked the idea of watching one of your new fun toys be made in real time.
Yes. Whatever could it be? It's a fucking mask. Spoiler alert. But yes, I would. Yeah, we gotta. Yes, we'll talk about that off camera. But where do we got here? Oh yeah, we'll all be back for more. So see, Sam, they want more Sam already.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's my best Ann Ramsey from the Goonies. Oh my God! She's pulling the pearls out of Mouse's mouth. Hey, there we go. I was like,
He
I
was
know
awesome
Sam
in
will get that.
Throw Mama from the Train also.
Oh yes, absolutely. R.I.P. Ann Ramsey.
And just like that,
Boom.
quick and dirty Michael Myers.
There you go. Sick nasty. And there you go. And again, that's something he just 23 skidoo-jude. If you guys want to purchase that, send $100,000 million to Hef TV, courtesy Bloodline Films. They'll get it and then trickle the money down.
You'll fund a
I'll fund a
horror comedy of some kind.
Yo, yes, Sam and I will make a movie. I'd fuck up a stick figure. Dope. And damn, yes. So Sam is a very talented guy, and a very wonderful human being. Yes. So the mask would be, I think that would be something amazing if we could watch like and I don't know if that's something that you would want to do on your end and just get me clips, or would that be a thing where we do this show and you literally make the mask in front of us?
I think I could make the mask. It's because some guys have like a philosophy like you can't do it right if you're doing it fast, but I think I can. The one that we're talking about, the style of it is such that I think you could get away with doing it in a single session.
Okay,
so we could do it in real time.
Give me like off the hook. Just and I know this
clips of like certain parts, so I can get like some of the harder work of it done, and then we could focus purely on the painting, maybe. But
well, let me ask you this: just ballpark figure, how long would that take? And I know that would be tough to gauge without all the stuff there, but I know how you work.
The longest is for the base coats of paint to dry. So if that's spray paint and it takes like 15 minutes to be safe to paint on top of, we could be looking at something being more or less done within like an hour or two.
Okay, that sounds pretty solid.
That's kind of a speed run. Like if I wanted the part 6 took a lot longer, but that was more because I was very picky and finicky with it. But
yes, the part 6 is beautiful, by the way. Yeah, no, we could absolutely do that because while the base coat is drying, we could just talk about other shit and then go right back to it. So yeah, I think that might have to happen. If that's something you guys would be interested in seeing, let us know because the mask is happening regardless. I just think that would be a wonderful thing for to not only showcase Sam's raw talent, which I think we've kind of broken a little bit into on this show, but actually watch the man make a mask, which I think is really cool because you got some people that do it online. I know there's like Big Hush, but
yeah, Big Hush is cool.
He's cool, but it's not.
He's kind of he does a specific kind of thing, and it's not my thing necessarily. I do enjoy watching his videos, but like he's good for kind of stretching the
creative side of it and
like
doing
the format of the thing. Like
almost like a
movie mask, but he'll also be
yeah.
like, this is a Seattle Seahawks hockey mask, and it's like, okay, that's cool. Like it's
there's a South Carolina mud bunny rabbits mask or whatever the hell they're called.
This is a Stitch Back Together hocky mask.
That's right.
This is a Freddy Krueger hockey mask. It's like, okay, that's cool. It's cool stuff.
That's cool, but I want a clean 3. Like, can you And again, he doesn't work with the he works with like the Chinese knockoffs too. He doesn't work with
but, which if you're gonna,
they're fine. They're fine.
They look great. They're better than the they're of the same material that the glow in the dark ones, the wrong number of holes that we all grew up with. Like, they're better than that. Like, if that mask was available when I was a kid and wanted a hockey mask, I would have been blown right the fuck out.
100%. Like, in my mind as a kid, that would have been screen accurate. You know what I mean? But then, getting older and
say that it is. It's fine. Like it's not all the way there, but some of us are pickier and have had access to much better tools now. But that would have been awesome. I have nothing against that. And honestly, it's easier for someone like him to make 30 masks in a month if you're getting them for $1.69 a piece. Like, it just makes sense. That's raw economics, and it's cost effective, and it benefits his style of content. So power to him. I look forward to the next one. And he also writes all the music in his videos. So
Yes, he is. He is also a talented musician.
Like, I've watched a lot of channels and I like them. I like the people that do the stuff. And it's like, oh man, you're using the same stock music as this channel, as this channel, as this channel. It's like, it's a little rough. I like when people go the extra mile and get something special whipped up.
Well, that's why I was lucky that Eric and the boys at Breathe the Skyline were kind enough, a year or two ago to let me use that.
The smooth tones of Mike Burgess in your opening there.
Yeah, no, it's great because they were super cool about it. They were all just and again just a stand up bunch of guys. And Eric just recently had a birthday. Happy birthday, Eric! I know I hit you up on Facebook, but happy birthday, buddy, because you're totally watching this. But yeah. So is there anything that you're before we wrap this up? Is there anything besides the part 5? Well, I guess. Cat's out of the bag now because I was just going to say the mask, but the part 5 mask that we were just speaking of. Is there anything else that you are working on that you're particularly excited about or looking forward to?
Well, when I get my laptop fixed, I've got little ideas floating around in the dome for music stuff. So hopefully I can put out a second whole collection of John Carpenter-esque kind of 80s style synth stuff. I will direct our kind viewers and listeners to the channel where my my EP of fake John Carpenter music exists. It has not done the numbers that some of my earlier projects did, but that's because I don't reach as many people as I used to back in the forum days. So it's just a numbers game. But I'm proud of that. That's one of my favorite things that I've finished from start to finish. I've got projects that are open that aren't done, like the Necronomicon. Whenever I find that in the basement somewhere, wherever I tucked it, that'll be up there on the list with the Terminator arm. As far as like, this is stuff I don't mind bragging about because I think it's really cool. It's like some of my stuff's like, yeah, people do some of this stuff better. Those things are like right up there. Like I'm big on that, so I'd like to push that. I've got a blank for part 8, so part 8 is coming somewhere down the pipe. And in general, at some point, I would like to get all my tools where I need them and get my ducks in a row and do an entire set from one from every movie. That'd be cool. That's
what I'm going for, Sam. That's my end game. So you're my guy. So guess what? Your dream is coming true.
Once every year or two, I'll shit out a mask and eventually we'll have every single one there is to have.
That's what I'm talking about. T just subbed to your channel.
Awesome.
So that's really cool. Do you want to, and actually that was one of the things I wanted to bring up, is do you want to kind of give everybody a little synopsis of what your channel is about, Bloodline Films?
What my channel is about?
Yes.
I forget what year I started the channel. I want to say it was it would have been in the early 2000s, and it started with making dumb videos in the backyard with buddies. So there's one where I'm wearing one.
They always do. All the great ones do, bro.
Oh yeah, wearing one of my earliest hockey masks, riding a 50cc motorcycle, like tiny midget crotch rocket in circles in the backyard. That we shot it on a flip camera. And I've got a couple really, really bad Halloween fan films that kind of miss the point of Michael Myers and Halloween as a whole, but there's at least one shot in each of them that's worth something. So there's a gleaming moment in the turd. There's some stuff that I wrote in a band I was in back in the day. Some demos from there I think are still public. I'm not sure. I have to check on that. I've started tucking some of the more garbagey stuff away because it's like I want to try and class up the joint, but
okay.
I'm not making enough stuff to really class up the joint, so I'm really just kind of sweeping a few things under the rug.
So get in while the getting's good, everybody.
Missile Command, the movie, I don't think is publicly available because of a copyright on
the music
I used in it. That was back when Battleship came out. Naturally, my mind went right to, if I'm going to parody this, we're just going to pick something else stupid to make a movie out of. And that one wound up being eerily close to reality because I was like, what's the most ridiculous thing I can think of? Well, Mel Gibson would be president, naturally. I only missed that one by that much.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were not far off the mark on that.
I also had an album cover I did graphic design for back then, where it said the West Coast is still in flames and a reality TV star is elected senator. That, shit you not, is in the ticker tape on the bottom of the fake news channel that was that album cover. I'll have to shoot you a picture of that.
Yes, please do. That is I would love to see that. Oh, I'm going to be getting all sorts of great.
You're going to
pictures.
get some goodies tonight.
Oh man.
But you move past that era of my content, and then you hit where it really starts to be stuff that I was trying on and had the ability to do well with. So there's the John Carpenter tribute EP, which they're all pieces of music designed.
That is available on your channel.
It's very available. It's super available. And
it's super available.
Yes, sir, Jeff. The West Coast is it is in fact still in flames.
It is.
But that EP is super available. And I literally will personally email people better mastered versions of it if they want it for personal listening, because I do need to brush up the production a little bit. But that's pretty good. And then I've got 2 Friday the 13th videos I did. One is pretty serious and one is less serious, if you're familiar.
I love the less serious one. I love them both. Don't get me wrong. The serious one you nailed, between music, sound effects, and just like shots, and you're obviously wearing all your own gear.
The goal was to make it feel like what Friday the 13th movies felt like between part 3 and part
6. Okay, yeah, we'll go with 6.
Like you cut it off at 6. It's that really early 80s, still kind of raw, dirty kind of feel to it. I used the part 3 costume. The funny one is a little bit more in the vein if people tune into the Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs and are on the Twitter horror scene. The Stabby Time TV guy who did the Stabby Time bunch. The second Friday video is a little bit more in the vein of his Michael Myers stuff, which, oh God, I'm going to have to ask a buddy to send me an email, because I've got some pictures of Michael Myers doing everyday things that we did back in, I want to say 2010 that are also pretty funny. But
oh, that's fantastic.
I was going to be pretentious about the John Carpenter thing too. That was designed to sound like all the music that he wrote for his movies between 1979 and 1988. Whenever he stopped working with Alan Howarth.
He was a huge influence to you.
Oh yeah, massive. It's creeped into literally everything I've done, and I liked his philosophy about it. It was it's simple. I did it because I'm cheap and I work fast, and I try to do that too. And then also, he's like, it shouldn't take away from the thing. It's almost like wallpaper. But that he's talking more about his score for the whole movie. I did more the main titles, which have a little zip to them. Yeah,
they have a little bit more oomph. Yeah,
all of them are named after H.P. Lovecraft stories that I'm very fond of. So you get to kind of go, oh, what would John Carpenter's this be? And then you imagine that for a little bit. But the format was fun, because I was like, we're going to make it like a badly tuned TV that keeps failing to show you John Carpenter movies. So you get the opening credits and then
it cuts out.
So it's like John Carpenter's Reanimator, and it's starring Tom Atkins and
Shut it off!
Stacy Keach and Nancy Keys or something like that. Just people that were in those movies in that period of time. I think they're all produced by Larry Franco, so that would have been during the Alive Entertainment period of time when he did Prince of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I like that a lot. That's one of my favorite things that I've done. And sometimes I like to gently stroke my own ego. And
you should.
Occasionally I'm okay at things.
Dude, you're very talented. You're very talented. So much to the fact that I've spent pretty much the last hour and a half sucking you off. But it is with good reason.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little tender down here. You can go a little gentler,
No. In fact, if anything, I think that when people see your work pictures can only do so much. When you see your work in real life, I think it definitely it's more impactful, and you really get to kind of get the whole scope of how very talented that you actually are. So if anything, like I said, I think I undersell how talented you are.
You've actually touched on one of my philosophies of doing stuff like that, and that's that.
I'm sorry to have touched you.
Well, it's a little late for that. I'm pretty sure you've touched me more than once. But,
a few times, yes.
If I'm going to make something, part of it's because I want to see it. I want to hold it. I want to have it in my hand. I want it to be the thing. I want it to be the real thing. So I want it to stand up as like you believe you plucked it out of your TV and have the thing in your hand. And so it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of focus. It's a lot of cramped wrists and time spent in blisters and paper cuts and shit like that to hopefully make it look like how I think it ought to look if I was holding it in my hands and was going to be like, all right, Richard, here you go. Slap this thing on. We're going to put you in the harness and drop you out of the barn.
Yep.
Like, it's gotta pass that test. And there's a lot of really talented artists that I've met, I've worked with in the same field, and they do stuff that looks great when it's photographed in a certain lighting and from a certain angle, and it's fantastic in like a shadow box or a lit case, but you hold it in your hand and it's like
so it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it looks all right, but
maybe like, the real prop looked like that, but it doesn't look like how it looked in this scene on the screen, and that's what I want.
No, yeah, it was a bad touch. No, and it does too. And again, anybody that's been over here has seen the masks in detail and know that you're just the bee's knees. But we are unfortunately out of time, Sam.
Oh no!
I know, but you are obviously. We're going to do another show with you because I love you to death, and this has been a lot of fun. And the horror is one of those things where I don't talk horror with a lot of people that often, and you are one of those people that it's one of those things where we have literally just sat down, and that's another thing I think is when we sit down to watch these movies, we're only kind of half watching them because we're talking throughout the whole movie.
Well, one of the things is we've seen them a few times.
Yes,
so it's
exactly
a medium to go
to shoot off, and that's again one of the things I want to bring up is like you and I have literally talked horror for hours, and it's great, and we have a lot of fun, and I wanted to say thank you very much for not only everything that you've done for me and for being my pal and putting up with me for all these years, but just for I think your contributions in general. I know you've done a lot for a lot of people, and you're just a really awesome guy. Yes, so that is the man behind the mask. That is.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I never got that mask out.
Which one?
The one he's talking about, because he used for the thumbnail, right? The dapper.
Oh yeah. Why don't you go ahead? We got a second.
The dapper skeleton.
Go ahead. We got a second for you, buddy.
Otherwise known as I'm torn because there's a funny story to it, and perhaps I save the whole story for another time because there's a whole lot of rambling involved. But essentially, a character who I guess was unofficially minted Mad Saint Hatter by.
That's where that came from. I was like, why is Cinemasochist calling you that? I was like, I've known you a while and I've never heard that. It's my
handle on Twitter. My ad is still YouTube Slasher from the Fright Stuff days, but the Mad Saint Hatter, Mad Street Hatter, it was Mad Street when I thought of it, but he said Mad Saint. And it's like now it's like a guitarist in the 80s.
Now, yeah.
But that came from Vika misunderstanding back when I had, I forget what social media. It was a mashed up trying to get Maddest Hatter, which is a song by Dawkins that I like.
Okay.
So, all the
shout out to Dawkins because fucking 80s metal. Hell
Dawkins, yeah. Yes, fans of Dream.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of other, because what was it? Jeff, just the man behind the mask, Alice Cooper. There's a lot of good music in those movies.
That is
spooky.
I love that. Yeah, and the lighting that you sent, I was like, because both pictures you sent were great, and I think that one just kind of really is, Yeah, 100%.
I like the kind of Mask of the Red Death.
Yes, it's very simplistic, but it's 100%. And the fancy ass top hat.
Yeah, that was an accident. That I threw together a Halloween costume for a Halloween party one year, and it It was at Spirit Halloween. The skull mask had like a little tiny top hat on it, but one of my buddies showed up to the party with a top hat. I was like, wait, can I see that? And I was like, put it on. I'm going to buy this from you.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
So that's a whole thing. That's something that's in the works, but so in its infancy that it's not worth getting into just yet. But perhaps there'll be
that'll be for another. That'll be in
that
the
probably
next
is not going to happen for like 2 years. But we're talking down the line. Do you like that my lighting got spookier as the sun set?
Yes, it definitely did. I've been noticing that. And by the way, you have a fire in the back corner of your room.
Yes,
I've been meaning to warn you about that the whole show,
house
but I mean,
is slowly burning.
it looks very slowly.
When it finishes, I'm going to wind up looking like this.
That would be only like the full skeleton pics, maybe to come on my Instagram. Who knows? Anyway, super shout out to everybody in the chat who watched Tom and Amy and Carrie and T-Bone and Eddie and Tui and Jay and Leonard and anybody else I'm forgetting. I apologize, but I love you guys. Thank you so much. This will be the last show on my channel for the year, and I've been lucky enough to do it with Sam and Michael. Michael, thank you for being a part of this. And guys, as you know, go out there and do good things because no one else is going to except maybe Michael. If everybody did one good thing a day, this world wouldn't be such a bad place. I want to go give my best to Sam. Sam, thank you so much, buddy. Go check his channel out. Follow him on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram. Stalk his house. I will post all of this. I will dox him after the show.
Like,
yes.
The only promo I ever get is on your show. But I got to plug your shit a little bit too. One of my favorite
That's a
things
shame.
you've got going on is the scary stories to tell in the dark read-throughs. You got to do more of that.
I will. I promise I will. Mike, your shoe is untied, by the way, so that's not good.
It actually is. None of my boots are tied. You nailed it. You got
me. Wow. Okay. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next year on Have TV. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's to you. And other stuff too, because, nailed it. Fuck yeah.